Hello, friends, and you are friends. Welcome back to Trekking the Future. I'm Joshua Hadley, and I'm joined by Lord Justin Blander, his lordship.
Lord, the Principality of Sealand, right there. It's a real place.
Exactly.
Not just a fun little spot with dolphins and such that are being kept against their will. It's actual country. The Principality.
Absolutely. No matter what England says,
Yes, no
it's
matter
real.
what England says. Yeah,
He's even got a flag.
yeah. See, right there. I have an actual full size one somewhere
Yeah.
like folded, all appropriately and what have you. So we're back. Another
This is Trekking the Future.
another Sunday episode here. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, I've been doing classes. I've been
mm,
going to work.
yeah.
I did the just communities accreditation course Thursday morning and Friday morning from 7:30 in the morning.
Mm.
Like pretty close to when we do this podcast to 11 in the morning, and then I went to work for the rest of the day. Someone made the comment in the class like, "Well, it's Friday, so hopefully you guys relax." Like, not for me,
Yeah.
but I'm grateful I did that. But yeah, like even today, I just been having issues sleeping. I woke up, I went to bed at 8 o'clock
Mm,
at, in the evening, and I woke up at midnight. I
mm.
was able to go back to bed at 2, and
I,
I woke up again like at 4:30 or something.
mm. I've been having some issues sleeping lately, but I also had the opposite a couple days ago. I don't know what happened. I mean, I got nachos from this place
Mhm.
through Grubhub. There was a place that had it was $10 off if you order $15 or more. So I'm like, all right, I'll try it. They had this big thing of nachos. I ate the nachos. They were a lot. I,
Yeah.
it was like 5 p.m. when it was like 5 p.m. when I started eating them. No, 4:30 p.m. when I started eating them. I finished at about 6. Immediately passed out. I woke up at 5 a.m. So those nachos put me in an entire coma there.
I yeah, I mean, I also got myself sick when I woke up earlier. I bought beers to share with my pal Nigruk, and
Chris Foster.
he ended up not. Yeah, he couldn't visit, so um,
Mm.
I had this tall can of Smirnoff Ice, and I woke up at midnight, like I said. So I figured, I'll drink that. Well, of course, I fucking made myself sick.
Yeah, yeah. Happens to the Chris Foster of us, you know.
Yeah, so like I set myself up for failure there. I mean, I'm here now.
Yeah,
Not, I mean, I'm not feeling like 100%, but
yeah,
I think I'm far enough away from that,
yeah.
uh, and I won't drink until I'm done with the stream. I don't know. Maybe I'll split it. Like, doesn't even
you
taste
will
great.
drink a little bit of a certain sponsored drink we'll hear about a little bit from now. Get a little bit of that action.
Yeah, Budweiser. They figured. Oh, they talk about trans people and they need to clean up the image. So, no, we're not sponsored by Bud.
Not yet. But Budweiser, I'll take anyone's money. I
See,
am. I'm not a sellout. I'm trying to
mhm.
become a sellout. I need the offers to be a sellout first.
Do you think they would still have Budweiser in a couple hundred years where Spock's like, man, what what is it? It's bitter.
I hope so.
Actually, what was it? Did we see the episode? No, it was in the original series where they're all getting drunk through alcohol somehow. And they go crazy. Yeah, we'll see that one day on
Mm,
Checking the Future.
you know, yeah, probably will.
So we were watched well, not new episode, new to us
New to us
rather.
episode. Episode 8,
Yeah.
The Elysian Kingdom, episode 8 of Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Which, I gotta say, I think this is my favorite episode so far. Personally,
Uh,
it's there's a
really
couple
enjoyed it.
things, couple things about it. One, it was one of the funnier episodes. I thought the
Mhm.
premise was really fun, like the most fun premise of the episodes, where it's like they get basically trapped in a children's book, essentially,
Yeah,
with only two of the characters actually remembering who they are, and the rest all thinking they're characters from the book. Um, so it was very fun, but also this was the first episode so far to have me tearing up a little bit at the end. Had me feeling some feelings. And
yeah.
also, gotta say, Spock with the
Uh,
long hair and the goatee was doing something for me.
I thought it was pretty strange how he just grew that. It's it was he did like look great in that though.
Mm, yes.
Yeah, it was fun to see all the characters like be different, like
And yeah,
Pike.
Pike in particular was like a very different from how he usually is, and one of his better fun performances of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. I always enjoy the character, but like I think um this scenario really shows the acting ability of
Yeah,
all these actors.
yeah,
Like
some
like I
range.
almost I almost thought, well, like they could just be these characters if they were allowed
Yeah,
to. It seemed like too other than like we watched this so we know how out of place everything was, but
yeah.
even the doctor, he even though even though he wasn't like he could remember what he was, he had to be well, he got to play this role of well now you're the king and in charge. It's very different from
Mm.
being the doctor,
I also like
I'd
the
say.
concept of like someone being in a story that they know, so it's like everybody's trying to figure out what to do, and he's just like, I've read this, I know the spoilers, I know where we're supposed to go.
I seen one thing like that, this anime, why oh no, you didn't like it. Why how Rosalina or whoever ended up at
Oh, I
the
just didn't watch it.
yeah. You were but same sort of story except
Yeah,
that it was a whole show. This was a episode.
yeah.
I that was funny. The queen had guards that were the Crimson Guard, red shirts.
Mm.
So it just got beat up. Unfortunately, it's still what they're there for. Um, yeah, and yeah, bit of a tearjerker. Like this girl that we've seen is she's dying, and this is
Yeah,
the one way she
the
gets to
chief
live.
medical officer at Manga, however his name is pronounced, his daughter, who is keeping
Mm,
sort of like frozen on the ship, but like letting her out every now and then, because the longer she's out, the sooner she won't be alive, essentially.
yeah. So what happens is they end up going to a star system with a nebula that is able to telepathically like or influence them somehow. I don't even know if telepathy is like the right term here.
Yeah,
Like they just get caught up in this thing and it makes them act a certain way.
yeah,
Um, but
and they don't.
um,
It's so they essentially get put into the book, like this entity's making them think they're in the book. But he starts to notice some things are different about the book versus what he's experiencing, and he realizes it's because this is his daughter's version of the book, because there's a
yeah,
part of the story that she didn't like, and he said like when you grow up you can make your own stories and have your own endings, and that's what she did here.
absolutely. And it was fun, like seeing them trying to figure it out, or even the deaf guy. It's hard for me to remember
Yeah,
his
he's
name.
he's the other one that remembered who he was, because apparently, like essentially he's just too mentally strong for them to be able to take
Well, I
over.
think I think he has actual telepathy. It's not
Yeah,
like humans or Vulcans or
yeah, he
whatever.
has like
Just
actual like a certain that prevented them from. They tried to take him over, but he said he was able to fight off.
and he was Spock's brother in
Hmm.
this story. Um,
Number one
I re-
was a princess.
yeah, and she had a dog.
Mm.
Which where did that dog come from?
You know.
Where's it been? I don't recall. I think I would. I think I will remember that. Like,
Mm.
oh, there's a dog. It's like we go into this story and the dog just appears out of the blue. I mean, there's a lot of things that have appeared out of the blue. Like the whole. If you never seen this episode, the whole ship. It's not. It's not changed, but there's a lot of decoration to fit the story.
Mm. I'm assuming like the dog friend I think wasn't actually there. I think it was just like they were imagining the dog was there and stuff of that like the same with like what was happening to the ship.
Hmm.
I think but who knows? I mean it's science in however many years from now that's essentially magic. So,
Science.
mm.
Yeah.
But
It's
yeah,
like
the tearjerker aspect comes in at the end when it's revealed that it's this entity basically working with the daughter, trying to help the daughter, and you find out that the daughter is no longer sick when she's around this entity. But
yeah.
in order for her to stay around the entity, then like the entire ship, the crew, everything, they have to stay like that. But he's given it the medical chief is given a chief medical officer is given an option, which is
Mhm.
essentially let the daughter go with the entity, where she'll be healthy and or stay with them and she continues to be sick and will likely die. And he ends up deciding to let her go. So she's gonna be leaving him, but she'll live essentially.
I did like that. And it goes back to what he said about there needs to be some sort of choice, and much as the fan fiction made it fun and we could go along this different path, you still have a hard choice to make.
Yeah.
I've been going through the Daily Stoic Spring Forward Challenge recently, and like yesterday's prompt was to say no to something, with the idea if you say yes to everything, you're saying no to other things. I mean,
Mm,
but I did like that that they even though like I just said, we had this fun story here
mm,
where she got to have an improved version of her story. It's still this hard choice at the end of the episode.
yeah.
I think it wouldn't have been hard for you. It's like just, let's keep sexy Spock. I don't even care about everything else.
you know, I would have been all right with that. I mean, he was a villain, but he was a sexy villain, so it's kind of worth the trade off.
Yeah, yeah. You probably will have went to the other side.
Yeah.
Can I team with him?
Hmm.
I put you. You would have been like Pike. I would have pledged loyalty to you.
So, uh, the girl goes with the entity, and then she basically immediately comes back, but as a full grown adult version of
Oh yeah.
herself, to essentially reassure the father that she's okay. Like it worked out. She's healthy, but she still has to go. Right? It's like she can't be back permanently. It's just something to reassure him that he made the right choice. Um, I'm assuming that we're gonna see her again at some point. I don't know if it'll be next season, season after that. I don't know when, but I assume she'll be back at some point in the future, and we'll get a nice, emotional reunion. Um,
I I've never seen any of this films except like I seen part of the Saving the Whales film, and I seen Wrath of Khan,
Back there.
but um I recall like Kirk is still alive in one of the films in a strange way.
Hmm.
I mean these things happen in Star Trek, so you
No.
never know.
Mm.
Um, well, I really enjoyed the episode. Was not my favorite, but I think I gave it an 8 on IMDb, at least maybe a
Good.
9. Like
Mm.
I really enjoyed all these episodes.
Mm.
Honestly, myself. And that really strong season.
Yeah. I think the reason it
Well,
was my favorite is because one of my favorite sort of subgenres of anything is like something that's funny, but also will rip my heart out. And I feel like this one had the best blend of comedy and also, punching me in the heart.
mm,
So.
like like the Deer Hunter. That's not funny. I'm sorry. I do like when was it Christopher Walken or someone was like one shot. One shot's all you need. Oh yeah, it was Christopher Walken because he ends up shooting himself in the head.
Well,
It's like, oh yeah, one shot. I'm
he,
sorry. Look, that film is from the '70s. If you're upset, I spoiled that for you. Like, I mean, I gave you the spoiler for this episode too. Well, he did, but still.
uh, Christopher Walken is great in Severance. Just a random note related to Christopher Walken.
Well, maybe I'll watch that. I got a lot to do today. I have a Zoom call at 11 and 3, so I don't drink caffeine right away when I wake up. I wait a while. I don't want to do drugs right away, except like drinking alcohol. I go for it. Um, but I need some pep in my step, and I'm gonna drink some Dubby here.
That. Gonna drink some Dubby.
Yeah, the Japanese soda flavor. That's a very
Uh,
beautiful label.
Beautiful label. And
I didn't even need more Dubby, but I was like, I need that flavor.
gotta get that flavor. And there's a lot of other flavors as well over there on w.gg. And something cool about those, you can get them for 10% off by
Yeah,
using the promo code GopherTalk. Not Gopher and Talk. GopherTalk. No and. Just GopherTalk. Or clicking the link right there if you're in the chat. Moose just did
yeah,
the W dealio that popped up. If you're watching on YouTube, it's in the description. You click the link, it automatically applies the code GopherTalk. You get 10% off on the entire order.
yeah. There's this anime. Um, is it Solo Leveling? And they
Yes,
got two new flavors: blue raz, purple grape. Well,
that's a good anime.
Shadow Monarch Surge,
I,
and tropical, blue tropical punch. Sorry, and
I
it's
watched the like sort of recap slash sneak peek movie, quote unquote, in theaters when it came out for that.
oh wow.
Yeah. It was like the last couple episodes of the first season and the first couple episodes of the upcoming second season. Upcoming at the time.
I think considering I think these are limited edition.
Mm.
Um, I think I better try one of these next
Mm.
time I buy W.
Yeah. They
Um,
got limited edition flavors. They got flavors that stick around. There's a lot. There's a lot of options.
see now, if I was writing this story, I'd change it up so that we get the the uh Gilly Gopher grape soda W flavor myself.
Grape soda. I do like
Yeah,
grape as a flavor.
or maybe like what do gophers eat?
Well, I had shepherd's pie yesterday.
Shepherd's pie.
Shepherd's pie flavored dubby.
There we go. We need that.
Mm.
I want that fan fiction. So this episode, a lot of it, well, the whole thing was, sort of fan fiction,
Yeah.
and I do like. I used to read fan fiction a little bit. Um, what little reading I did, but I really enjoy some projects like Bentley Bear's Crystal Quest. That
Mm.
wasn't an official Atari game. Just some guy was asked to make a Atari mascot video game for the Atari
Mm.
7800. That was a platformer. He's like, all right, Bentley Bear, I'll make that into a platformer. And it was so great that Atari said, we're going to make it official.
There you go. That does happen. Like the Sonic Mania was made by a group of people that were just like making fan games, and Sega were like, "These are good. We want these to be ours. So let's have you come on and make Sonic Mania."
unfortunately, like all the fan fiction we did, like Two Worlds Wrestling Federation, Future of Wrestling, New Mexico Wrestling, like I don't think that really took off.
Mm. You know what's always been weird to me? The fact that 50 Shades of Grey started off as a fan fiction for Twilight. Now, I've never seen or read either, but I
Yeah.
don't really get how the transition from Twilight to 50 Shades of Grey happened. Because, like, as far as I know, there's no werewolves or vampires. And it's like,
Well, what if it's like never? Well, what if it's like never nighttime in 50 Shades of Grey, and like, all right, I gotta leave. There's a full moon tonight. Like I'm superstitious.
yeah.
um, I guess considering fan fiction, um, I really enjoy some of these mangas that are, and there's some comics too that I ran onto DeviantArt. It's not just manga that are
Mm.
sort of like fan comics. I'm trying to think of some. I got a lot of X-Men comics, so I did check out what some of these fans have had to do, and some of them are really great. Um, I wish, unfortunately, like some of these are unfinished projects,
Yeah.
and that's the one thing about fan fiction is it's not really like I don't know how much
I mean, that's
people get paid
that's the
to do
thing
stuff like that.
with Pokemon ROM hacks, which are a form of fan fiction. There's a lot of really great ones. Some of them like actually feel like they could be legitimate, games made by Game Freak. Um, but there's a lot that are like really good, but they just never got around to finishing them.
Unfortunately,
Mm.
and I mean, even this story, like a lot, like we followed the story to a T until, well, I guess like this. I mean, it's a big change, like this aspect. Oh, I want these two characters to be friends.
Yeah.
There's yeah. Now that I actually think about that in the series of or in the terms of fan fiction, there's a lot of like shipping that
Yeah.
happens. Like people will go on a boat and they'll say, "I can't stand this anymore. I'm gonna go on this ship. I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna write the Gopher and Tuck love story." That's shipping, right? When you decide I need time to myself to write this
see,
stuff, that's a ship.
see, the real Gopher and Tuck shipping here, like the real Gopher and Tuck fanship is Tuck and Mink. That's the
Oh,
one.
there we go.
They have the Mink Monday Tuck Thursday feud. People want that feud to turn into love.
Well, I mean, it might already be love. Like, I mean,
Could be.
it's a
Could be.
love of competition, war.
Yeah, but I mean like love of each other's bodies.
I, I mean, that's probably why they're competing.
You know.
But yeah, there's ships. Like, I mean, the story wasn't quite like in the Star Trek episode.
Yeah.
It wasn't quite a ship. It's like, what if these two people are homies? Like, I see that plenty of time.
Yeah.
I guess some really weird fan fiction is the Russian propaganda, or you see this like people. What do you call it? When they tried to like, the what if scenarios, like what if Germany won World War II,
Revisionist
or
history or something like that.
that's probably, I mean, that's a great real term for it. I'm just thinking, what do they call it on the internet? Alt history.
All history.
Yeah, the alt history people. I don't know if that's not really fan fiction, except I guess it sort of goes into it if you're like, oh, I'm playing Hearts of Iron 4 and I can go down this path of
Mm.
world history. I guess I don't know if we can call that fan fiction because I play a lot of
If that's the
Civilization.
case, then like Inglorious Bastards would be fan fiction,
There
which
we go.
you
Like,
know.
probably don't count.
I mean, every Quentin Tarantino movie is fan fiction. It's just a
There we
fan
go.
of feet.
Exactly.
Mm. Actually, Once Upon a
Have,
Time in Hollywood also would count,
have you ever done fan fiction? Like, I
aside from
like I
e-fetting.
didn't. Well, I haven't done it on purpose outside eat fighting because I feel like you're trying to make your own
Yeah.
character and story. I
Uh,
think I've did just for example, I did it. I remember the first time I did it, or maybe something.
Mhm.
Or actually several times. Like I would play out that scene in the Return of the Jedi where they're about I say it's a like 2 hour movie. So when they have Luke and they're gonna put him into the sand pit and like that monster's gonna eat him, I played that
The thing where
out
they're like
several times.
nodding at each other.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's like I played that out several times with my toys, but I think first proper fan fiction I might have done was a James Bond comic.
Hmm.
It's awful.
I did like back when I was like I don't know like 10 years old, like when I was early on in the e-fetting years. I remember writing a thing that was like basically an e-fed version of like a Smash Bros tournament, but with more
Ah,
more characters like Conker from Conker's Bad Fur Day and stuff like that. But I wrote it out
no
like
Bentley
as if I
Bear?
was writing like e-fed matches. What was that?
You didn't have Bentley Bear from Atari
I
then?
did not have Bentley Bear from Atari on that one, no.
Not even the one of the Pong paddles. Actually, I think that's in Smash Bros. Proper now, right?
Not well,
I,
not as a
I want to
character, but
go.
it might be like a trophy or something.
Yeah, I think it's one of the things where
Oh yeah,
you
like
grab.
has the ball going across the screen. If the ball hits you, you get knocked around, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
See, you have been ahead if you added Pong to your fan fiction.
would have been ad. I hope. Wonder if we're getting a new one of those soon because like the Switch 2 is announced. That's actually we're close to the event where they like properly talk about it. That's gonna be the day after a certain stream that we'll be talking about later. Um, but I wonder with the new console coming out if we're gonna get a new Smash Bros. Because the last one was like pretty complete. You know, like it had a huge roster. It's like how do you go
Yeah.
up from there? You
Um, you make it so that you unlock the guys by playing. You unlock like a.
know.
They got the custom characters. You just gotta play for like 5 hours and
And
unlock a tattoo.
another thing is like they have like not contracts, but there's like legal issues with like retaining the rights to the characters, right? Like they can't just use all the characters they've used in previous games. They have to get the rights to them again.
Just,
And there was
just
a
take off the just take off the Nintendo official seal of quality and just make it fan fiction.
there
Like
you go, there you go.
like sell it at don't sell it at Walmart. Give it to these people to sell it at their garage. Like, there's gotta be like some kind of money making scheme we can pull there, right?
Yeah.
Well, talking about money making schemes, I'm joking. So coming up, uh, Earth Day is April 22nd. We got some things going on. We're looking at some competitions here and up in Kotzebue. I know down there, you, I know down there you already make some pizzas because you're like, look, this pizza pie, it's the same shape as Earth, and people are gonna look at you and like,
I
okay,
actually am making pizza today. We do have pizzas on Sundays. That's a thing here. So we're doing
um,
that.
that's awesome.
Wait, what day is the
Well, the
thing?
regenerative. So I didn't even say the name of it. I was just saying Earth Day's on a Tuesday. Almost
Yeah,
said it
yeah.
right.
See, no pizza for me that day. That's on a Sunday, but it is a
Yeah,
Tuesday, isn't it?
but the regenerative summit's gonna be part of it will be on a Tuesday from Sunday, April 20th,
Hmm.
um, to I don't know if they're going to the 25th or 26th on Earth Day. We're gonna have Ringo Starr be. He's gonna be playing live in New York. That'll be streamed. We're figuring out if we can do any venues up here in Kotzebue and Fairbanks. I believe Roberts figuring something out. There's a lot of people backing this thing, like the Green Party of Alaska, the Forward Party of Alaska.
Hmm.
The other partners, it's tough for me to see from here.
Hmm.
But a lot of people are doing some work, and I feel like I'm actually trying to do some stuff for Earth Day and make it something because Earth's pretty cool, even though we hardly get to see it in Star Trek. Yeah. Well, they're exploring strange new worlds. I mean, I guess Earth's pretty by this point they got it figured out, right? I know. You're a gopher, so you go into Earth plenty, right?
It's true. Yes, I'm not ever quite, as I'm not in Earth as often as a certain Chris Foster, known for such sleeping places as a ditch, but I
Mm-hmm.
am occasionally in Earth, every now and then.
Hiding in this hidey hole,
I think it was
giggity
like,
gopher. So check out the regenerative summit. It, I believe the name is gonna change. It's the seventh annual Regenerative Planet Summit. And if you'd like to figure out more, you can go to a-r-k.us. I know it wasn't .com, so it's not .com. It's not .org. It's .us
US.
slash RPS 25.
Mm.
Oh man, what you didn't like that?
I got some dog action.
Got some dog action just in time too. I think he is excited for the Star Trek trivia.
Well, was last week the one where I finally got two right? Or it
I think
might have been the week before
I
that.
think you did it twice, right? Or
Oh,
maybe
hmm.
I know you did it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I
I
did two
don't
weeks ago.
recall what the result was this time. But
Yeah.
so what we do is I ask Justin 3 questions, and if he gets two right, he wins. If not, he loses, obviously.
Mm. That
This
just
week,
happened most of the
if you
time.
win, you'll get to use the bathroom, and if not, you'll just have to hold it till next week. Hopefully, like we're not delayed a day again, so you don't have to hold it longer.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
you got this.
Let's see.
So I'm gonna ask 3 questions. Like I said,
Okay.
first question: by 1973, what percentage of the primary authors of Star Trek fan fiction were women? And like, I'll let you get like you can be 10% off or whatever, and I'll give it to you.
Ooh. Mm. Women.
Ramen.
Women's. Like, I feel like it's probably under 50%. I feel like that, but also, like, I want to say 69% just because it's 69. Uh, I'm gonna go 40.
90%.
90%. Jesus, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I was surprised, but
Damn.
I guess there's some reasons for that.
Spock.
Spock is pretty. See, all right, one wrong. We got two more, so
Mm.
you're still got your chances. Second question: which character has appeared in more episodes than any other in all of Trek history?
Spock?
No, it's Worf.
Who?
The Klingon.
Oh man.
WORF. Worf.
I don't even think I know that character.
We'll see him in the next
Wow.
generation or whenever we get there,
My
or
first
Deep
thought
Space.
was Picard, but then I'm like, wait, but Spock's been around, but no, some guy I never heard of instead. Look at that.
Yeah. Well, no, not you.
Not me.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you got to hold the bathroom for a week, but you still got one more question. You
Yeah.
can save face here.
Yeah.
Who is the real owner of Princess Talia's dog, Runa?
Like the real life person who owns the dog that they used for the filming.
Yeah,
I'm assuming it's one of the cast members.
could be.
Hmm.
It is.
Yes, okay. I'm gonna go with. Do I have to say the actor's name, or can I just say like the character they play? Because I don't know the actors' names.
I'll go with either.
Okay. Um. You know what? I was already wrong once with him. I'll try it again. Spock.
No, it's Christina Chong,
Mm.
the lady who played Princess Talia.
Oh wow. You know, makes sense.
Yeah. Well, all three wrong this week.
All
It's a
three.
sad time.
I'm sitting here drinking water when I gotta hold my stuff in for an entire week. Oof.
So foolish.
Mm.
Well, if you want to win the title, I mean,
I can't.
we
Now
will
would be
just,
the opportunity.
yeah. I'll hold that against you, but I think why don't you give us some news on Star Trek, Starfleet Academy? We
Go.
talked about that last week, I
Yeah.
believe. We got an article from MSN.com. It's everything we know so
Yeah.
far. Like,
Everything we know so far with a whole bunch of ads. All right. There we go. All right. Star Trek has suffered some big losses in the past couple of years, losing both Star Trek Discovery and the animated series Star Trek Lower Decks to cancellation. Now, the
sad.
first new live action series since Star Trek Strange New Worlds is on the way, Star Trek Starfleet Academy. While there are still a lot of unknowns about Starfleet Academy, we know all of Season 1 has been filmed, we know the
Oh
cast,
wow.
and we know some details recently spilled by Star Trek actor/director Jonathan Frakes. Let's see, when is it released? We don't have a release date yet, but considering the
Not
first
yet.
season has been filmed, we expect it will stream on Paramount Plus in either late 2025 or early 2026. Who is in it? Holly Hunter plays the Chancellor and Captain of the Academy. Tig Notaro will reprise her role as engineer Jet Reno from Star Trek Discovery, while Robert Picardo of Star Trek Voyager fame will once again play the Doctor, an emergency medical hologram. The regular cast of cadets will be played by Carice Brooks, Bella Shepard, George Hawkins, Kareem Diane, Zoe Steiner, hopefully she's related to Scott, and Sandra
Yeah.
Rosta. Recurring roles will be filled by Tatiana Maslany. I know her. This is the first person I actually know on the list. She played She-Hulk in the MCU. Gina Yashir, and another one I know here, Paul Giamatti. That's a surprising name to see in a Star Trek property. We know the most about Giamatti's character, a villain with some kind of dark connection to one of the cadets. We also expect guest appearances from Star Trek Discovery alum Mary Wiseman as Sylvia Tilly and Oded Fehr as Admiral Charles Vance, the head of Starfleet. What is Starfleet Academy about? It's set in the 32nd century after most of the events of Star Trek Discovery. Because of the burn, a cataclysm event that made warp travel impossible, there hasn't been a new class of Starfleet cadets in over a century. The new cadets we meet in Star Trek Starfleet Academy will be the first ones in all that time. The series will follow the trials of the cadets as they learn how to be officers. How many episodes will there be? 10. Simple answer there. 10 episodes. That seems pretty standard for Star Trek now.
Yeah.
Is there a trailer? So far, no trailer, but we expect one in the coming months. Will there be a season 2? It's already been greenlit. You know that? Already been greenlit for a season 2, which is currently in development, while season 1 is still not out yet. Cool. And what did Jonathan Frakes say about Star Trek Starfleet Academy? At the 2025 Indiana Comic Con, at a Star Trek panel organized by Collider, Jonathan Frakes said, Star Trek Starfleet Academy has the most massive set of any series in the franchise. He also revealed there will be a starship in the show, presumably attached to the eponymous Academy. There we go. There we go.
Well, the one person I recall is Tig Navarro, and I forgot she did Star Trek. I just remember her for her stand-up comedy, but
Mm.
um, I thought she was funny.
Hmm.
I'm looking forward to.
Paul Giamatti's always really good.
I'm not. The thing is, like, I almost watched Lower Decks like the past few days, and I'm like, I feel like dirty for not watching Star Trek with Justin.
Yeah. Oh.
But I'm playing games without you.
True.
That's the news on Star Trek Starfleet Academy. We're looking
Yes.
forward to whenever we check that out.
Yeah.
Um,
Presumably late 2025 or early 2026. So there you
basically, like, but something I wanted to talk about is I decided what other Star Trek games are out there, and I saw there's a game on Android and even PC, but
go.
I'm playing it on my phone. Is a Star Trek Fleet Command.
Hmm.
And it's one of them gotcha games.
They got you.
I, we talked a little bit about this. So you can like the title suggests you control a fleet. I don't quite have a fleet yet.
Mm,
I don't know if
yet.
I played a full hour of this yet. Anyway, I mean, I'm not saying that it's false advertising. It's just a lot of these games, like, things take time, and that's one thing I've noticed.
Yeah.
I almost spent some money on this game too, thinking, "Oh, I want
Nice.
this cool stuff," that I thought, "Man, I I didn't wanna, like, put any money in it, not because, you know, my enjoyment of whatever I'm doing in that game, but outside of that, I felt like, man, like, this game's supposed to be played a certain way, and I feel like spending money to do better is sort of like paying to win.
Mm,
Like, I don't like sometimes that makes sense, like with chess.com and getting the analysis from Stockfish, but it's like sort of different. It's just I don't like in games when you spend money to like playlist game.
yeah.
But I haven't spent any money in for free. I get plenty of time savers rather. Sorry.
Yeah.
And there's lots of things to do. Like you get your own planetary base, which you could build all these buildings, and that's where all most of my time savers have gone.
Yeah.
And actually, I said I didn't have a second ship yet. I should by the next time I log in. That was being built, and it was gonna take 40 minutes, and I used up time savers on that, which I shouldn't have because I logged out of the game anyway. I don't know if it's real time. I can't recall if I when I log in it'll be done, or if I have to actually have the
Yeah.
app open. I feel like I'm gonna continue this game just to mess around, and I there's alliances. This is a multiplayer game. I
Mm.
don't know if you're interested in this, Justin, or not, but um I don't know. You got so much going on. Like adding another game. Like
I do
oh,
play a couple of them their mobile games. Just usually I just like
yeah,
check, early in the day and then, do it again tomorrow. Just every day. Sort of part of my morning routine.
yeah.
Both
There's
Pokemon related.
mm, there's a story in this game. I've been paying. You know, it's a lot of text, and
Yeah.
the music is fine, although it never changes.
Yeah.
So, um, the game's okay. I don't think you need to go out of your way to play this, but um, I will continue to do so. Maybe there's something there for fans. We do get you get to unlock a lot of classic characters. Like I got Crusher,
Mm.
Ada on this one ship that I have so far. So you get to assign different classic uh Star Trek characters as your crew for your fleets.
Mm.
That's neat.
Yeah.
You know, um, I haven't seen other than me telling them to do stuff. There's not really much interaction, but
Yeah.
maybe that'll change. As just I don't think so, but as the story goes on,
Yeah.
that's the one reason I didn't want to call this a review either. It's sort of hard, like saying if a game's good or not if you hardly played it.
Yeah.
But um, for I think one of the annoying things for me is a gotcha game, but I get plenty of free stuff. Like a lot of these games I've noticed is you get daily login bonuses.
Mm.
My issue with that though is I think I spent without spending any money. By the way, think I spent 2 minutes like looking at loot crates opening. I'm like I've had enough of these loot crates. I can we get some game. I think you know it's not that you can't ever do stuff like that. I think I prefer the way Fortnite does it. Not like not saying like the gameplay besides like they just sort of just throw at you like, oh, you got this, like instead of like having you open a loot crate every
Mm.
time you know you get to have something new. But I think that is
Yeah.
by design so that you would think, oh, I gotta look at my loot crates, like what's opening up.
Now, see, all that time spent on loot crates, but see, you're not playing Shenmue 3, right? Where you have to have in one playthrough probably like at least 30 minutes combined of a cutscene of the characters taking their shoes off to enter a building. Okay. That that's the grind right there, trying to make it through all those.
Yeah, that's on Gopher and Tuck. Yeah, check. Like, go there right now. Go to YouTube. Type in Gopher and Tuck Shenmue 3, and you can watch that whole series. It's like
It's
what,
there. A lot of
50
episodes.
episodes?
Way too, no, it's like I think like 70 or 80.
Yeah,
Maybe
something
70.
like
It's way too many episodes. Let me see. Shenmue 3. Gopher and Tuck.
I remember you fought the Woodman. That was fun.
Nothing about that was fun. Nothing about that entire playthrough was, except when the little girl, just some random little girl, does a superhero landing. That was fun.
And I think that's like was that like a instance where if you got that you failed the quick time event or something? I forget.
I think you have to succeed the quick time event, and then she does the superhero landing.
Oh, that makes more sense.
And that was fun. There was one, the other only fun moment was when I failed a quick time event, because the main character gets absolutely decked in the face with this like massive log. So that was fun.
Oh
It's
yeah,
72 episodes with at least like 2 hours of wood chopping. So there you go.
yeah. Yeah, he
High quality stuff.
why don't you talk about what else people can find on the Gopher and Tech, and what else you're doing besides Shenmue 3?
So I have a little explaining to do here. There has not been a new episode of Gopher and Tuck, just regular, episode, in 10 days now. It's when the Fight Forever one-off came out. Shut up, video. Which was March 12th. March 12th. That's because I have been pretty preoccupied. I've had to get stuff ready for the GM Battle Season 3, which is bigger this year because we're bringing in somebody else. And there was a lot of calls we wanted. Creative
It sounds like it's a lot more work than it was last
Yeah,
time.
in the WWE games, they made it a lot more work to like have the characters unlocked and have like different like hairstyles and clothing options and stuff like that unlocked when you're creating wrestlers. And you can't download wrestlers who have anything on them that are locked from community creations if you haven't unlocked it. And they have an option, a $15 accelerator that like buys all of the like in-game quote unquote legends, but then there's still a whole bunch of other stuff that's locked even if you buy that. So yeah, it's the whole thing. So I've had to spend a whole bunch of time getting that ready, but that is ready. And not only is that ready, episode 1, which is the draft, me, Brandon, and TJ doing our draft, is going up in just over an hour.
I'll say whatever negative thing I said about feelings I gave people about Star Trek Fleet Command. I didn't need to play over an hour to unlock data.
It took me about 6 hours. Like I played the new island mode they have in the game for about 6 hours, and in that's like where you go to earn VC to buy like tattoos, hairstyles, all that. In 6 hours of playing, I got enough VC for one tattoo. One single tattoo. It's insane. But we got all the calls, all creative wrestlers and everything ready for that. The first episode goes up in about an hour. They'll be going up Sundays at noon in my time, Central Time. It's gonna be like same format as the previous seasons, where the first episode's the draft, and then every episode after that is 1 week in game. We watch we watch one match from each show, not including the computer controlled shows. But now that we have TJ here, that's 3 shows we'll be watching a match from each, so 3 matches per episode. And Brandon found these like sliders that change like the gameplay and everything, so we made it so that the matches flow a little better, so they're more fun to watch. So that's good. And yeah, so that's going up every Sunday, 12 o'clock. I've also been busy with like various appointments, dentist, dental, or that's the same thing, eyes, getting various things checked on. So I've been
on the
busy. Mm. It's been busy, and with us going back to this format that we're using now, which the GM battle episodes are not going to be in that format, they're going to be full length. But going back to that format, these episodes take a lot longer to edit, so I can't just like quickly try to get one out. But fortunately, things are slowing down a bit for me, so I'm able to get back on it. I was actually editing tomorrow's episode right before we started this podcast.
Yeah.
So that'll be going up, which that will be the premiere of Split Fiction. Been holding off on that because of this, but yeah, that goes up tomorrow. Split Fiction premiere. Pokemon Gaia Randomized Nuzlocke will be continuing the day after that, going up every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. While Split Fiction goes up Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And I'm enjoying that a lot personally. The Split Fiction game, having a great time with that. So those are the three main things for that. But also, just a quick mention. We'll talk more about it next week. But there's going to be the what's it called again? Our chess stream.
Gopher and the Bulls mate.
Yes, that will be on April 1st, otherwise known as April Fool's Day. That's despite the fact that it's going to be on April 1st, it will be happening. It's not gonna, not gonna get there at 10 p.m. Central Time and it's just no stream happening. It's like, haha, gotcha, April Fool's Day. No, there will be a stream, and it will be at 10 p.m. We'll have another arena. It's gonna be some good stuff,
Yeah, and while we're talking the future of Gopher and Tech, we need to remind the people that we made a we lose our screens?
Yeah, your webcam done peace out on us.
Wonder why that happened. Like,
yeah, it's not showing up in the collab cam dealio at the moment.
I didn't hit like my camera is still like the lights on. All right, let me just.
Yeah.
This happens. This happens right now. Let me just stop video and start.
Yeah, that might be the way to go. Oh.
Well, I could use my phone, and we only got a couple minutes left, so it's not.
Yeah. Like 7 minutes left?
Let's see. So, speaking about the future of Gopher and Tech, we have the. I don't know. Let's see. Switch to front. No. I don't know if you even see me yet.
Not yet, no.
I think my video is just like for Streamlabs is just stopped working.
Hold on, I'm generating a new link for Streamlabs, and I'll send that. So maybe that'll work. There you go. Sent that.
Yeah. Let me check this out. I'm like we got to talk about this.
There it is. It's black screen, but it's showing up in collab cams, but it's just a black screen.
I had to switch
there we go. Okay. Oh, good.
Anyway, we got tricking the season, tricking the future season 2 coming up, but for the finale, and I wanted to ask you how you wanted to do this, and we'll do it live. We're doing a poll to watch a film for our final episode of this season, which should be April 12th, but we're doing this episode late. So the idea is we're gonna run a poll, like I said, and it's you guys are gonna pick which Star Trek film we're gonna watch. Will it be Star Trek: The Motion Picture? Looking through the list here, Star Trek Generations. Star Trek with the not really a remake. I did see that film. I forgot to point that out. Or Star Trek Section 31, the newest film. And I wanted to ask how you want to do this poll, Gopher. Do you want to do it on your Patreon, which I believe more people can participate, or do we want to put it on Discord, which is probably more active?
Yeah, I would probably go with the Discord because Patreon, there's not really too much traffic going in there. We could do polls manually in Discord with a 10 option limit, So we could put that in there. We could set a time limit for it to reach its end. I think
feel
that's
like
how we'll go with it.
so I mean we won't put it up yet, but since this that Trek in the Future episode is ideally will come out on the 12th, you feel like we should run um this poll
We
maybe.
could start the poll today because it has an option for the duration to be 2 weeks. So we can start today, have it end 2 weeks, or actually, hmm, maybe we want it to end prior to next week's, like not this upcoming Saturday, but next Saturday, the 5th, prior to that, so that on that show we can talk about which one won.
Well, well, let's do the episode of the final episode of Strange New World so we can announce it on that episode of Trek in the Future.
Yeah, yeah.
So on the 8th, I think. Yeah, so it would be like 2 weeks, right?
Wait, so what are you saying?
Um, so we're gonna watch. I'm sorry, I'm looking at March. So the last episodes of Strange New Worlds we're gonna watch will be
The 5th will be
Saturday,
when that.
Saturday 5th.
Yeah,
So how about the poll ends there so we can announce that episode of Trek in the
yeah.
Future, like,
So maybe
or even
maybe
that
I'll
Friday.
probably I'll probably start the polls this upcoming Friday, have it last a week, and then it'll end the day before we do our episode where we talk about the final episode of Strange New World season 1, and we can announce at that point which film wins, and then we'll be watching the following week.
And there is a if you when you join Giggity Gopher's Discord channel, there's a channel specifically for this show Checking the Future,
Yeah,
and that
so it'll be in there, and it's free to join. Hold on, put in the Twitch chat. There we go. Just click that link in there. The link is also in the description if you're watching this on YouTube.
like it.
Free to join. Free to join. You can just come in. You can just hang out. You know, we got people in here. We got me Minx in there, apparently playing Dragon Ball Sparkling Zero. You know, we got people.
Make sure like when you join too, just say I'm here for the chess. Like not even if you're not, just tell Gopher like where's it? Like you seen William Shatner and play tridimensional chess. Like you want to do that too.
Yeah.
Well, like Gopher said earlier, a lot going on. For me, there's the Regenerative Summit to look forward to, and the chess stream. I'm really looking forward to that on the 1st. I'll make flyers for that today. I'll get them out there. I didn't want to get them out there too early, but hopefully we get enough people to join the arena that our link will just work. But
Mm.
I guess it doesn't really matter too much if we're the only two. But we'll look at getting more people and trying different things for
Yeah.
sure. And I will have a new. I haven't been doing the puzzler for the Gopher streams for our flyers, but I feel like I'll try fit it in there this time. Yeah, yeah, just sort of like a flyer like that one.
Yeah.
You can see
Right
that.
there. A little piece of
But
paper right there.
but yeah, what's the next episode of Star Trek?
That would be kind of thing. All those who wonder. Enterprise crew comes face to face with their demons and scary monsters too, when their landing party is stranded on a barren planet with a ravenous enemy.
Man, is it gonna be dark?
It might be. Starring Anson Mount as Pike, Ethan Peck's fine ass as Spock. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot to look forward to.
Yeah.
Some spooks. It seems like.
Mm,
Whoa.
be some monsters.
Um. Yeah. Well, this has been Checking the Future. We'll be here next weekend for sure. Saturday, Sunday. I mean, it doesn't seem like people are catching this live.
Yeah.
We'd like to keep a regular schedule, and hopefully
Yeah.
everything we're not either too busy or sick
At the
to.
very least, we haven't gone past the Sunday yet. You know, it's always been either Saturday at 10 Central or Sunday at the exact same time.
I was afraid when I threw up this morning. Like, shoot, I don't want to cancel this. So thankfully, like, I was just drinking too much. So I
You
got
had a little too much of the sauce. A little
well,
too much.
guys. Thanks for joining us. Long live and prosper. Check out
Long
www.
live,
Yeah, long live and prosper.
long live and prosper. That's one that
Yep.
crosses. All right,
check
see
out
you.
Gary Gopher's Discord and just
Go for it.
give him a dad joke. Like,
You know, go ahead. Why not? Moose does it every day.
you guys have a good rest of your week.
See you later.